What's going on, guys? Kyle Marlett here with Vanishing Inc Magic. I'm here with my buddy Jeff Prace, the creator of the brand new effect Phone Phreak. Jeff, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good, man. So tell us about your new effect.
Yeah, so Phone Phreak has been in the works for just about 4 years, which is surprising for any iPhone trick. You would think, oh, iPhones just came out yesterday or, just got invented. But Paul and I have been working on this with the whole Paul Harris Presents team for about 4 years. When I just got into college when I first started working on Phone Phreak, and I'm almost graduating now. But it's super cool. I wanted something that can be done with the phone, and we were playing with stuff that, like the moving logo that's on the Phone Phreak. We took it a whole step further by adding stuff with a bill, with a torn and restored photo. The bill changes so it's highlighted. It's a super practical bill change. Your hand is absolutely empty when you just cover the phone for a second. It changes to a 5. Put that in their hands, changes to a higher denomination at 10 or 20 or 50, 100, whatever. They open up the case themselves. They take out the bill themselves. They examine everything themselves. And after you put that phone into their hands, you take nothing away. There's no palming, no ditching, no switching.
And it's a really great effect for multiple reasons, some that you've just described yourself. But basically, in answer to this, because I know this might be a question some people have, because it is so clean, and it really is clean. Like, I was very fortunate to be shown the method recently, and it is really, really clean, very, very clever. You're absolutely right. There's nothing to be hidden or taken or added or anything. But technically, you could do this like hands off in a way, right? Like, you could even have it on the table if you wanted to and just wave, and you're really hands off.
So there's 2 things I'll say about that. One is you can put this on the ground and cover with your foot, do whatever. We were playing with that idea, and because literally you could put the $1 bill on the ground, cover it for just a second to have it change to a 5, kick it just a tiny bit, not kick your phone, far and hard, but kick it a tiny bit, and when it stops, it changes into the $5 bill or something like that.
Or you could like slide it across the table or something.
Yep, 100%. If you don't want to kick it with your foot, absolutely. Put it on the table, slide it across, it changes. We also, on the DVD, it might be mentioned in the ad copy for like a sentence, but we have a really killer handling of Paul Harris's Whack Your Pack, which...
Oh, no, I don't remember that.
So Whack Your Pack is obviously a classic Paul Harris trick with cards, and it's been updated a few times, but Whack Your Pack in this context is you show your iPhone case as like a $5 bill inside, and you say, okay, whoever puts their hand on top of that $5 bill first, they get to keep it. So you're all huddling around. It's a really nice interactive trick. You're all huddling around. 1, 2, 3, go. Everyone puts their hand on top, and someone puts their hand on the phone before the magician does. But of course, the magician is able to do something magical. They all remove their hands, and from that case, there's no bill. It's totally empty, and the magician has the bill now. And that could be in his pocket, in his hand, it could be wherever. So it's a really nice vanish of the bill under a spectator's hand, under a group of spectators' hands.
That's awesome, man. Now, without giving anything too much away, and I know some people have kind of started guessing what the method is and stuff like that. Can you kind of fill us in? Because I know a lot of people were kind of upset that it was only for iPhones and, only certain iPhones. And I mean, there's, for the while, because I'm a Mac guy, I'm an Apple guy. And at first I was like so proud of Apple because there's only like, the iPhone 4. And then they started coming out with the iPhone C. And then that's like a whole generation by itself. And then the 6 Plus is kind of not necessarily as common. But is there give us some reasons why you chose to do it like you have?
Yeah, so when I first started working on this, the iPhone 4 was like the big thing. So and I had an iPhone, and that's why it started, being with iPhones. But the thing is, with an Android device, there's so many, and I know there's some popular ones like the Samsung S5 or whatever it's called, and there's popular ones. But there's a few things that play with the iPhone that just make it a little bit easier. And if you know the method, you'll know why an iPhone will work better than some other types of phones. So it's unfortunate that it only does work with iPhones at this point. But if you have an iPhone, I think it's totally worth it for you to get. One of the great things you can do, iPhone 4s are super cheap. You could probably find them for less than $100.
Sure.
And it doesn't even have to make calls, so you can use it technically as an iPod Touch
at
that point. But buy one of those, put the case on, keep it in your Magic case, keep it in your professional set if you don't want to switch over to an iPhone completely.
Now, someone had this question, and I answered it on the cafe, but just in case people haven't read that, this is like a legitimate iPhone case. Like, you can actually use this to protect your phone, right?
Yes, this can stay on your iPhone all times. I mean, it is a Magic prop, and it's not meant to be the most durable case. I mean, it's not an OtterBox, who are we kidding?
Right.
So if you take your phone and slam it against the ground, yeah, this plastic case is going to break. But yes, it could be used as a case. You can keep it in your pocket ready to go at all times.
Okay.
No problems.
And then a couple other things. Tell us, because I mean, there wasn't too much in the demo, but I want to hear it myself, just about all the bonus effects. Because something that you're good at, Jeff, and I will say this: every one of your effects that you have released has so much value to it because of all the bonus tricks. Like, what was it? The other trick, the silencer. There was like 12 bonus tricks on that that DVD. Like, there was so much extra stuff that, despite if you even like the original trick, you're going to get something out of the DVD. So it seems like the same thing with Phone Phreak as well, because there's like, what, 4 or 5 different themes, right?
Yeah, so we advertise this as a build change just because we prefer that handling. I think a build change is one of the strongest things you can do with Phone Phreak. However, don't discount the other 2 tricks just because they're not in the trailer. There's a torn and restored photo, and when I say torn and restored, it's really just a restored photo. You showed the back of your iPhone case as a broken up photo, 4 pieces of a dog, your family member that might have passed away, whatever kind of photo that you can justify. And you can use any photo. You can use any photo from your collection.
Yeah, and I will chime in. That's the really great part, because I saw the special thing that you can do with that, and the fact that you can change the photo instantly and impromptu is really smart.
Yeah, and this is great for a marketing purpose. Let's say you're on a TV show. You can do, the TV show host. You can do this or that. You can use anything, and then that photo can be given away at the end. But it's a piece-by-piece restoration. Show 4 pieces, and it gets more and more impossible. First one with a wave, second one with a shake, so no cover at all. Third one goes in their hand and restores, and then you're left with a full examinable photo at the end. So it's super visual and super clean, just like the build change. It's almost identical in looks, except it's just a different object being changed.
Great. And what about the logo?
The moving logo is just a totally different idea with this because it doesn't use a physical object. This is the only one without a physical object. It's the actual printed logo on the phone. You show it, you give it a wave, and it jumps from the top to the bottom. And then you put your 2 fingers over the logo that's now crunched up by that text, and you slowly slide it up. And if you want, you can actually show them. You can remove your fingers, and the logo slowly, eerily moves back up. I like to cover it to give some mystery. But for a second, you can just kind of show it, and it just moves back into place. Immediately give out the phone. They can feel the logo. They can rub it. There's nothing there.
Great, man. I think I have one more question, because I think you kind of answered. Well, I mean, you've described basically everything. I mean, it's practically self-working. It basically is self-working.
Yeah. If you can do the easiest move in Magic, you can probably do this.
Yeah.
We tried to make it so an 85-year-old grandma can pull this out and she can do it.
Which is like the next best thing. I mean, 85-year-old Magic grandmas, like it's AGT, America's Got Talent, is going to be up there.
They can do Phone Phreak.
Yeah. But it's self-working. It's practical, incredibly practical. And you guys were really smart. You made it with basically a ton of currencies. Like, there's barely any currencies. And I know you guys are adding currencies.
Yeah, so, I mean, the currencies aren't a physical prop you get. So when you go to Murphy's, you can download everything you need for the currencies. And we're adding more as we go. We're learning some more about these Asian countries that they have some demand there, so we're going to be adding those as time progresses. And there's actually one last bonus trick that's on the DVD called Unplugged. So if anyone knows my work with headphones, they might recognize the name. Basically a pair of headphones that aren't plugged into anything, all of a sudden play music. A borrowed pair of headphones, just touch them and they play a song the spectator's thinking of.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, so I do that in a few of my lectures and stuff, so I do that every once in a while, but we included that as a bonus, so you have a complete treatise on tech magic here.
Sure.
Yeah,
so I think that's about it. So I think the last question, and this might be a difficult question to answer because I'm kind of putting you on the spot, because there's a quadrillion bill changes out there. Like, I have my own bill changes that I've released and put on downloads and stuff, but what kind of makes this why do you think this is, in your eyes, one of the better versions, or I don't want to say the best because there's never the best, I guess, but what makes it stand out amongst the other ones for you?
So I guess this is actually a good talking point, because the reason I do this is because sometimes the best type of magic is when someone doesn't go, show me a trick, but they go, what's that? So what I purposely do, I will put my phone on the table with the bill facing up so they can see that bill. And I'll just kind of leave it there, because people do store money in their iPhone case, and that's where this idea, stems from. And I'll just wait. And someone's going to go, what's that bill in your case? And then you have a really nice presentation that you don't always get with the standard, look at this bill change.
Sure.
You say, that's my emergency dollar. I only use that dollar if I'm in an emergency. But what if something was, you can't get much for a dollar? Boom, it's a 5. Boom, it's a 20. So there's a really nice built-in presentation and a built-in motivation why someone would go, hey, what's that?
Great. Great, man. Well, thank you for answering some of these questions. I'm sure it's helping everybody, but I mean, and I think it's still on pre-sale, I think, right?
Yep, it's on pre-sale for just a few more days. I've seen the final stuff. It's shipping to Murphy soon, so any shop will have it ASAP.
Great. Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much.
Yeah, no, thank you.